Have you ever felt unstoppable at night? Full of fire, full of promises, only to wake up the next morning feeling empty, tired, and unmotivated? You watched the video. You felt the goosebumps. You said, "Tomorrow, my life changes." But tomorrow came, and nothing changed. Not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because motivation was never designed to last. And today, I'm going to tell you the truth nobody tells you: why motivation always fades, and what actually works when motivation dies. From the moment we start dreaming of a better life, we are sold a lie. We're told that all we need is motivation: one powerful speech, one viral video, one emotional moment, and everything will change. We're shown highlight reels of success, people screaming with energy, dramatic music playing in the background, and we believe that feeling fired up is the same as being prepared. But motivation was never meant to carry you through the hard days. It was never meant to wake you up when you're tired or push you forward when results are slow. Motivation was packaged as a shortcut, a replacement for effort, consistency, and patience. So when that feeling fades, we don't question the lie, we question ourselves. We think something is wrong with us, that we're broken or weak. But the truth is, we were trained to chase a feeling instead of building a foundation. Motivation feels powerful in the moment, but it's born from emotion, not commitment. And emotions, by nature, are undisciplined, begins where motivation ends. When the excitement is gone, when the music is off, when no one is watching, discipline is the force that still gets you out of bed. It doesn't rely on hype or emotion. It relies on decision. Discipline is choosing to act even when every part of you wants comfort instead. It's quiet, repetitive, and often invisible, which is why it's rarely celebrated. But this is where real change is built. Every small disciplined action is a vote for the person you want to become. On the days you don't feel strong, discipline carries you forward. On the days you feel weak, it protects your progress. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline is what keeps your feet moving when the road gets long and the results feel far away. Motivation asks you to make the right choice again and again. But systems remove the need to choose at all. A system is what happens automatically when life gets busy, stressful, or overwhelming. It's the routine you fall back on when willpower runs low. Without systems, every day becomes a mental battle, and sooner or later, you get tired of fighting yourself. But when your environment is designed for success, progress becomes easier. You stop relying on emotional strength and start relying on structure. The alarm goes off, the habit begins, and the work gets done without drama. Systems protect you on your worst days, not just your best ones. They turn effort into routine and discipline into habit. When motivation disappears, and it will, your systems are what quietly keep you moving forward. While others fall back into excuse, lasting change doesn't begin with what you do. It begins with who you believe you are. When your identity is weak, you constantly need motivation to push you forward. You're always convincing yourself, forcing yourself, dragging yourself to act. But when identity is strong, action feels natural. A person who sees themselves as disciplined doesn't need to be motivated to show up. They show up because that's who they are. Identity creates standards, and standards eliminate excuses. You stop negotiating with yourself every morning. You stop asking for permission to quit. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to change," you say, "This is how I live now." The more you act in alignment with that identity, the stronger it becomes. Motivation may come and go, but identity stays. And when identity is locked in, consistency no longer feels like a struggle, it feels like self-respect. There comes a turning point when you realize waiting to feel ready has been holding you hostage. You stop chasing motivation and start moving anyway. Action becomes the spark instead of the result. Even small steps create momentum, and momentum begins to rebuild belief. You don't need confidence to start. You gain confidence by starting. Each imperfect action reminds you that progress is possible without feeling inspired. The more you move, the quieter doubt becomes. You learn that motivation doesn't create action, action creates motivation. What once felt heavy becomes familiar. What once felt impossible becomes manageable. When you stop consuming words and start executing behaviors, you break the cycle of waiting. You reclaim control from emotion and give it back to effort. And in that shift, forward movement finally becomes consistent. Even on days when inspiration never shows up, motivation will come and go. Like a visitor who knocks on your door with promises of energy and drive. Sometimes it stays for a while, filling you with excitement and hope. Other times, it leaves without warning, and you are left with nothing but your choices. Real transformation doesn't depend on a visitor. It depends on what you build when motivation isn't there. Motivation can inspire you to start, but it cannot carry you through the grind, the obstacles, or the quiet, lonely work that real growth demands. The person who succeeds consistently is not the one who waits for the feeling to arrive. They are the one who acts regardless, who builds habits, systems, and a strong identity. Motivation lights the spark, but discipline and identity are the fire that burns steadily, long after the visitor has left.